Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Shutters and Speed on this absolutely stunning morning here at Town Hill Inn, where my mate Tony and I have decided to have a ride to for a night and enjoy the local area. I'm up early this morning and I just thought I'd share with you the view that I have from this vantage point, which is just behind the pub. So here goes. I hope this works okay. I'm just going to give you a sort of a panoramic view of what the area looks like. Well, I hope that worked okay. No doubt we'll find out when we get back to Shutters HQ and look at the footage. I've done something similar, as you probably realised by now anyway, because if it was any good you'd have seen it, of Reeth, the sort of area around there. So there we go. I think this is an absolutely stunning location, especially at this time of the morning, and doubtless we'll be back here again in the future. We're going to be having breakfast very shortly, then we'll be setting off, so I should probably doing a bit of recording as we leave this fantastic place, but then we'll be on to more boring roads, so that might well be the end. But for now it's bye-bye, and I'm going to go and enjoy a bit of breakfast. So, having enjoyed breakfast and having a great dinner last night, it has to be said, here we are with the Town Hill Inn in the background, about to leave. We've had a thoroughly enjoyable stay here, and we look forward to coming back again at some point. So let's get on our way. I'm going to do a bit of filming along the exit out of Town Hill, as it were, because I think the views just ahead, as we can see, are really stunning. So we're going to make our way back to, I think it's Richmond, and then we're going to have a quick blast down the A1. So I'll probably do a bit of filming and commentary along this road, as it were, and then we'll see how we get on after that. But for the moment, it's all scenic. But then it'll be just boring A1. So we'll probably switch off cameras then, and that'll probably be the end of the video, probably. But as we leave the area this morning, what a beautiful morning it is. I don't think we could have picked two better days to come down here. I was saying to Tony last night at dinner how we could have quite easily chosen the sort of the wrong weather, and riding along here in pouring rain would not be very pleasurable, it has to be said. But this is just perfect. We learnt last night about a bit of the history of Town Hill and the inn. Apparently it was built initially for or it became an inn and a pub and then an inn because of the all the miners and so forth that used to work around here. There used to be lots of quarrying and mining going on, and a lot of the workers used to stay in the area or at the inn, and obviously they would be quite hard drinkers. And there was a lot of quite interesting photographs inside the restaurant or dining area where we had our breakfast, which sort of told you a lot about the history of the area and the inn itself. So that was all very interesting. But of course now it's just a mecca for tourists and all that kind of thing who who flock to the area and enjoy the sort of the remoteness of everything. We met up with another gang of motorcyclists who were on a tour here, and they're staying for another day and going to have a ride around this area, and I hope they enjoy it, because it's a great thing to do. The one thing that you need to do when you're riding these sorts of roads, especially when you've got the advantages that we had just then, where you could see a long way down the track, is that you can see what's coming. So that will make your decision making when you're riding these sorts of roads so much easier. Now approaching one of these pretty bridges that seem to seem to be quite popular around here over the streams and so forth. Interestingly, we saw a car on the way here yesterday pulling into that building over there, and I think he wondered whether that was Tan Hill Inn. I suppose it looks similar, but he quickly realised it wasn't. He just turned off, or attempted to turn off on this track just to the left here, and I think he sort of saw the track and then looked ahead and thought, no, that's not the one. But reasonably easy mistake to make, I guess. I hope the camera's picking this view up, but it's into the light, so it might be a bit difficult. That'd be a good test of the camera's capabilities, I guess. But this little hut we've got coming up here is quite a feature of the Yorkshire Dales. This is like little shepherds' huts where they used to look at, have the sheep and when they were lambing and so forth, and they would use those to sleep in and stay out with the sheep all the time. Well, we're going up a very interesting looking lane here. I've got the sat nav set to the fastest route home, so quite where we're going at the moment I'm not sure. As I might have mentioned previously, these these sat navs, when you rely on them, I guess, rather than the usual route finding with a map, you're never quite sure where you're going. And this is certainly no change there, as it were. But we're certainly going up again. Looks like we're going down and up through another valley, and you can see the route ahead, the ribbon of tarmac ahead. Yeah, there's all sorts of minings, and if you look to the left there, I hope you can see that, there's evidence of quarry workings as well. So there was all sorts of activity going on in this area in times gone by, which is very interesting. That's somewhere remote to live if you wanted to. You want to make sure you've got plenty of milk, though, I fancy. But what a spot, especially on a day like today, and I suppose in the winter time. I mean, you get cozied up in there with all your supplies, roaring fires, and the snow is bucketing down outside. That must be quite a romantic sort of place to be. Little group of sheep up here. I hope they don't do what I think they might not do, but they've generally been very good. They've kept out of the way, have not looked as though they're going to shoot across in front of you, and you feel reasonably confident when you approach them. It sort of takes some doing to do that, if you like, but they do seem to be very, very cooperative. What's that? Bit of single carriageway road. Wow. Wait. That's it, thank you very much. What a view from up here, crikey. That was a bit harum-scarum. Local motorcyclists coming up here at a rate of knots, obviously used to all this sort of thing. Morning. On what looked like an old BSA Gold Star. Fantastic. We seem to be coming down into the valley floor now. Forestation is much thicker. White lines in the middle of the road resume. Sort of another confident local motorcyclist. Green lane by the looks of it. Gravel on the road. Oh, we can see nicely ahead now, so we can be reasonably confident of what the road holds in store for us. Tricky little section. Oh, look at that for a bridge. Wow, very picturesque. Well, we've now joined the A66, and then we'll after that we'll be probably joining the A1. So the roads now are probably not much of interest, so I think what I'll do is I'll keep the cameras rolling. We're going to stop at the next petrol station and top up with fuel, and then once we've done that we should be yeah, so we'll be stopping at Scotch Corner for fuel. So I think I'll keep the camera running along here. This is the A66 heading towards Scotch Corner. And then once we've got to the garage, I shall turn the cameras off, and then I think you'll probably join me. We're going to head for Lincoln and then head back towards Sleaford on the I think it's the A16 or A15 anyway, the Lincoln Sleaford Road, and then I'll probably, because that's a beautiful piece of road to ride along, so I'll probably turn the cameras back on then, and we'll cover that section. So we'll keep going along here. This is a road that is I've used many times in my lifetime. We're great fans of the northern part of England and the Lake District, and we come along this road in the car many times. But it's not often I've been along here on a motorbike, so this is quite nice really to be able to cruise along along here on a beautiful sunny day. These junctions here that come across the dual carriageway are a little hairy. You never know whether the person coming across has seen you or not, and when you're sort of coming along here at sort of 60-70 miles an hour, you think to yourself, but so far so good. Gang of bikers on the other carriageway, probably out on some kind of tour, maybe heading to the lakes. I don't know if the camera picked up that camel in the field there. That's a little bit of a spot that my children look out for when we used to come along here. They've been there for some time, and when we used to come along here, they often used to say, "Oh, Daddy, will the camels be out?" And I'd like to say I hope he's picked it up. The camera picked it up. If not, then I can just assure you that there was a camel in the middle of a field in northern England to my right. I'll tell you what, Tony, you better make the most of this. You better make the most of this. This fool. Do you see how much it is? Well, welcome back. We've just come the other side of Lincoln. We left from when I left you at Scotch Corner. We made our way down the A1. Made a couple of stops there because Tony behind me, he needs a bit more frequent fuel stops than I do, so we made a stop. We came along off the A1 towards Lincoln, came through Lincoln, and here we are on the A15 heading back towards Sleaford. So I'm just going to do a bit of filming along here. This is a road that I enjoy quite a lot. I come to Lincoln reasonably regularly because my son lives here with our new granddaughter, and his wife, of course. So we find ourselves coming along this road quite regularly, but it's always in my car. So and I quite like this road. It's a little bit further on from here. It's a little bendier, and quite nice. And you also get up quite high too, and there's some good views. So I'm just going to, like I say, I'm just going to do a bit of commentary, and we're going to film the ride along here, and then we will close off this video, the Tan Hill trip, and see how that all comes together. Yes, the road along here has been resurfaced in quite big sections just recently, so the tarmac is nice and smooth, and you know, it's a very pleasant surface to ride on. Just behind these buildings to our right here is an old control tower for an airfield that used to be along here, and of course this part of Lincolnshire was heavily involved during the Second World War with bomber raids and so forth, and this area here had quite a lot of squadrons of aircraft of various types stationed here. Of course we had that back in Norfolk as well, but here in Lincolnshire it was sort of almost known as Bobber County, and a lot of the fields to our right here were airfields during the Second World War. The funny thing about this road is it's a sort of the main road from our part of the world, sort of I suppose the south and east part of the countryside, Norfolk and Lincolnshire, and yet this road always seems to be relatively traffic free, especially at the weekends. I know on a Friday evening it gets rather busy, but at this time of the day, and pretty much any time, the traffic is not too bad. Always have to be mindful, of course, of these junctions, but as long as you take care, you should be fine. The road will soon start doing a bit of up and down, as you can see, probably hopefully ahead. A sort of ribbon of tarmac just sort of meandering its way through the countryside. So we're into the part of the road now that is the bit of the roller coaster. We're quite high up here. I don't know exactly how high, of course, but the road does this sort of weird up and down, which being a Norfolk boy, not quite used to all this. I mean, some of the roads that we encountered in and around the Tan Hill area on our ride in the recent days have been quite challenging, so in comparison this is quite tame, I guess, but it's still quite a nice road to cruise along. Now coming into the sort of downhill twisty section of this bit of road. Bit of a shame that we've come across a little clutch of traffic just at the most interesting part. Never mind. Field to our left here looks as though it's recently been cut, so the really warm weather of the last couple of days has helped the farmers get the old harvest done by the looks of it. Oh yes, a couple of balers going in to bale the straw by the looks of it. Excellent. Well, that I think just about sums everything up. We're now coming into the village of Leasingham, which is just before the big roundabout at Sleaford, where we take on the A17 and head home. Don't think there's a lot of point in filming that, so I think I will tie things up and end this video right here. I'm not sure whether the video will be in 2 stages or not, but even if it isn't, this will be the end of either the first or the second. I do hope you've enjoyed the video today. I know Tony and I have had a great time riding around Yorkshire, and we thoroughly enjoyed staying at the Tan Hill Inn. That was a great experience, something that I've always wanted to do, and I've now sort of ticked that box, as it were.
So as I said, if you've enjoyed the video, click the subscribe button. It will keep you up to date with all that's going on my channel. And this is Shutters and Speed signing off for now, and we'll see you next time. So bye.